Hi, everyone. This is my first scheduled Facebook Live, and it's very interesting. It's a different energy. I kind of like it. Um, oh gosh, do I get to see when people join? Oh, hello. Hello. Um, hello. Hi, guys. How you're coming on? Hi, 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 hi. Hi, hi. Like I said, this is my first scheduled Facebook Live. Usually I'm like, oh, let's do one now. I'm inspired. Um, this is the first one with everybody. So thank you all for joining me. Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, Renata, Michelle, and Christine, and Deb. And I thought I saw, hello, thought I saw a little heart from Miss Julie. But it doesn't show you seen, so I don't know what's going on. I'm all confused. Anyways, oh, delay. It just says Julie or hi, Julie. All right. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Hello from Bath, England. And you have to say Bath, as I've been instructed by my friends. Because you can't say Bath, because it's, very American of me to say Bath. As Michelle said, the Queen's English Bath. Anyways, which is part of what we're talking about today is words. And you guys have heard a lot lately about the Access Mantra. And Dane jokes about, oh, it's this new thing, this Access Mantra. And it's the Access Mantra is actually one of the most potent tools we have in the toolbox that we have. And what I see a lot of people doing is breezing through it, not paying a lot of attention to it. And yes, that can still change things. But my question to you is, how much more can you change? How fast can you change? How quickly can things change when you're congruent with the energy? One of the favorite things that I love talking about is being congruent with the energy. That's my new class, the energy of words. Being congruent with your asks, with a K in it, ASKS. As I've joked, being congruent with your ass is a whole different topic, but it's the energy of words being congruent with your asks. And it really starts with being that congruent with the energy. Like with the Access Mantra. Because has anybody ever asked their body for one thing and got the opposite? Has anybody ever asked the universe for one thing and then got the opposite? Right? All of us have been there. And I think there's a delay, so I can't see the hearts or the hands, but I'm going to assume you said yes. Because honestly, this is where this idea came from a while ago. Is as I was teaching Right Body for You classes or facilitating other things, is people always have this, I get the opposite of what I asked for. I get the opposite of what I asked for. I get the opposite of what I asked for. And so I started really asking questions about this. I'm like, why are we getting the opposite of what we asked for? And this is where I came up with, well, we say one thing with our words, and then energetically, we're asking for something else. And we may not have the total awareness that we're asking for something else, but we are. And that's how, combined with my love of writing and wordsmith, how I got into the energy of words. And so, because the original language we speak is energy, okay? And so when we're using something like the Access Mantra, absolutely freaking amazing thing. Access Mantra, I'm a big fan. I use it all the time. And when I've noticed that I have the energy of it, it's more potent. And so, as we're talking about this Access Mantra, because we seem to have a new energy available to us, as Gary and Dane are talking about, we've changed a lot of things lately. And so there's more potency. I mean, holy crap, Access Mantra was already potent, but now there seems to be more potency behind the Access Mantra as well. And so I thought and one thing I know people love when I talk about classes is being this congruent energetically. So I thought I'd just do a live with it. And hence, here we go, my first scheduled Facebook Live. Okay, so those of you who might not know what I'm talking about, the Access Mantra all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Seems simple enough, right? All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. First off, it's not an affirmation, okay? A lot of people try to say, oh, it's just like an affirmation. No. An affirmation, in this energetically being congruent, right? An affirmation is something you are trying to convince yourself of the opposite of what you already believe, okay? Let me say that again. Affirmation is you are trying to convince yourself of the opposite of what you already believe is true, okay? And so, the most popular one, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. So if you say that as an affirmation, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. What do you actually already believe? You believe you're sick, you're poor, and you're stupid. Oh, I just noticed all the other things. My thing didn't scroll. Hi, Safia. Hi, Carol. Hi, Julie. Hi, Michelle, Elizabeth, Julie. Oh, everybody. Sorry, my thing didn't scroll up and show me new people. Sorry, guys. Or comments. Okay. So I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. As an affirmation, you don't believe you're healthy or wealthy or wise. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. So what you believe is I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid, right? Because in an affirmation, you're trying to convince yourself of the opposite of what you already believe is true. Okay. Now, affirmations have about a 50-50 ratio on success. Some people it changes things, other people it just doesn't. Well, that's because they're being energetically something different with it. Okay. Because remember I said the universe in your body speaks energy. It listens to what you say energetically. So when you say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, energetically you're going, I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid. And I'm trying to say I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, trying to get over this major hurdle of I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid, and I'm really sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid, and I don't know if that's ever going to change because I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid. And well, I'll just say this, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, but I'm really sick, poor, and stupid. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, I'm really sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid. And so you see how energetically you're saying a completely opposite thing. And this is why affirmations do not work. And this is what I'm talking about, being congruent with the energy. Because I would guarantee you look back at the people whose affirmations worked for them and they went, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. And the energy is, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, not I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm stupid. Okay? So you have to start looking at the energy that you be. This is why I love talking about this, and this is why I created a class on it, right? I love looking at being energetically congruent. What does energetically congruent means? It means you are being the energy of what you're saying. Okay? So with the Access mantra, this is why we call it a mantra and not an affirmation. Okay? Because it's not like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and try to convince myself of something that that I believe the opposite of. What you're doing with the mantra is, for one thing, okay, and the other thing you guys have to tell you, I love looking at words, the origin of the words, okay? And you want to really look at, when you're beginning this journey of how I did, is you want to start looking at the original definitions of words. Because this is when we decided to create a language and we put a word to an energy. This is when they were matched. This is when they were congruent, okay, is the original definition. So you always want to look at the original definitions. And I have a lot of fun things that I'm going to talk about in the words classes that I do. So I looked up mantra, okay, because mantra, Gary Douglas, Gary Douglas, founder of Access Consciousness, right? Amazing, brilliant man. I mean, he does wordsmithing, which is just, using words and being the energy behind it and matching the energy with the words he's using. He's brilliant with it, absolutely freaking brilliant. And he just pulls it out. He's able to pull it out and just match it, even if it doesn't make sense. He's brilliant, okay? So I'm like, okay, so if a man like Gary Douglas is using the word mantra, because, we talk about it's like a statement or a prayer. So I'm like, let me look at this. What is actually the original definition of the word mantra? So I pulled it up. Mantra, it's a sacred message or text, literally an instrument of thought. So I thought that was very interesting, of how it is this thing that we're putting out into the universe. Okay, that's why it's not a affirmation. Okay, let me say that again. It is not an affirmation. It is a statement. Because remember, if it was an affirmation, you'd be like, all of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. Let me put on these rose-colored glasses and that only good things happen and this is how it's just lovely. No, that's an energy of affirmation, trying to convince yourself of the opposite of what you already believe is true. In the mantra, it's a statement. All of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. What that means is no matter what shows up, I'm going to choose to have ease with it. It's almost like putting a demand out into the world. No matter what shows up, I'm going to have ease with it. I have choice in everything, include how I react to things. I'm not going to say only good things happen. But what I am going to say is, do I have a car accident? Then I can have ease with it. Do I miss my plane? I can have ease with it. Something crappy happens, you know what? I can have ease with it. Having ease with something does not mean only good things happen. That's an affirmation. A mantra is the statement. No matter what happens, whatever occurs, whatever I create, I'm going to have ease with it. Okay? So this is why we call it a mantra and not an affirmation. Okay. So that's the part, like all of life comes to me with something. All of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the dancing, the non-dancing, whatever it is, right? All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Okay, so let's start looking at the ease part of it. I looked at the word ease. I have a lot of fun stuff. It was fascinating researching for this. So let's look at the ease. Okay. What was interesting is, so ease, some of the original definition for it is physical comfort, undisturbed state of the body, tranquility, peace of mind, well-being, comfort. And it's really interesting to give ease, okay, and to relieve from pain or care. And it goes on. It's like, so it's really fascinating. So that we're saying, okay, all of life, remember, all of life, no matter what we create, what shows up, all of it, we have ease with it. Okay, let's look at that again. It is physical comfort, undisturbed state of the body, tranquility, peace of mind. It's like, all of these different words that this brilliant man Gary Douglas chose for this, and or whenever we created this, you know, whether Gary Douglas created it or we all created it together, some other lifetime dimension or whatever, to pull it in, to pull each other, to be a call out to each other of like, hey, you know what? We may have never met, but we have your backs. You know what? You're not alone. You are out there. I guess, you know, Gary used to talk about all the time for those of us who are access consciousness facilitators to put on all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory on all of our marketing. Because what it is a shout out to those people who are seeking, who know that something else is possible. And so it's like, I don't know when it was created, Gary created it, we all created it some other time together, whatever, but it is that shout out, okay? And I talk about this stuff just to get you guys aware of the energy, so you have that in your universe. Okay, so all of life comes to me with ease, peace of mind, tranquility. Yes, it includes the body in it, physical comfort, undisturbed state of the body. So I love how this ease has both peace of mind, so for the infinite being, and also for our body. We might not always like to include our body, but you know what? The Access Mantra does. All of life comes to me with ease. Okay? Joy. Joy is the next one. Feeling of pleasure and delight. Woohoo! Source of pleasure or happiness. I mean, come on. You just look at the word and get the energy of word joy and you're like, woohoo! Right? So look at the original definition. Feeling of pleasure and delight. Source of pleasure or happiness. Yay. So wait a minute. Am I saying you're going to have happiness and joy with something crappy happen? Yeah, actually you can. You have light, you have choice in everything. It's not a rumor. You have choice in everything. And so that's what's the ease, the joy, and glory was fascinating. Okay, so in Access, we talk about glory being the exuberant expression of abundance. Absolutely. And I've always wondered about that because it's like, you know, this is where I learned a lot of this from, is Gary Douglas talks about looking at the original definition of words. So I'm like, it's interesting that he doesn't go to the original definition for glory. I'm like, okay, so what is this? Glory. So I looked up the original definition. Fascinating. Okay. What was interesting about it is the first thing they said is the splendor of God or Christ, praise offered to God, worship. And, you know, those in Access, we talk about this light heavy tool. I can't find you guys. Oh, there's the other tab. We talk about this light heavy tool, right? So when I read this, I'm like, splendor of God, Christ, praise offered to God, worship. I'm like, that doesn't actually feel light, because normally every time I read the original definition of a word, my whole universe goes, yes, okay, that makes sense. Oh, yes, oh, you know, it becomes that energetic congruency, because when you're congruent, it feels better, your universe expands, okay? So I'm like, that doesn't actually make sense. So I kept reading, and it kept going on, and you know, it just, all this stuff, meaning maybe it's this, and then here's the bottom, and this is what I found was fascinating and made me go, ah. The religious use has colored that word's meanings in most European tongues. So what was interesting about this is, and then it goes on to say, these are my favorite 5 words when they were talking about glory. You guys ready for this? I wish I could see your faces on it, because it shocked me when I read it. So all of these different things is talking about glory, the original definition or this or whatever, right? And then it talks about, it could be this Hebrew word, which has a sense of brightness, splendor, magnificence, majesty of outward appearance. And that made me go, okay, that's the closest, right? But I went, could be this Hebrew word. And then right at the bottom, you know what it says? A word of uncertain origin. I had never seen that before. I had never seen anybody or anything I've ever read about the original definitions of word go, we don't actually know where this one came from. It could be this, it could be this, it could be this. 6 paragraphs later, we're actually going to admit we don't know where it is. We don't know where it came from. A word of uncertain origin. How fascinating is that? A word of uncertain origin. Glory. So for that is why we're like, glory is an exuberant expression of abundance, because that's what it is. An exuberant expression of abundance. That amazing man, Gary Douglas, put that word to it, right? So it's like exuberance. It's an overabundance, grow luxuriously, expression, action of pressing out, right? Pressing out, meaning we're sending it out. Abundance, copious quantity or supply. So that's what's like, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. You start to look at this and you start to see how much energy is actually involved with each of these words as we use them. And, you know, and that's what a lot of people use words as a limitation. And that's one of the things I love to invite people to, is using words as a tool. Once you get clear of the energy you are bringing up with the words that you're using. Because that's one of the things I see all the time, is that you get the opposite of what you ask for, because energetically you're asking for something different. Okay? And so this is why I want to explore this with the ease, joy, and glory, the Access mantra. And here's the other part. So great. you have more definitions. All of that is blah, 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 blah. Really, it's about the energy. I use the words to get to the energy, to call up the energy. But the other thing I like to suggest people do with all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory is be present with it, okay? Because this whole thing is talking about being present, or sorry, being congruent energetically with the mantra. So I've given you guys some information. I find it fascinating, hopefully to help you get some energy out of it. But really, before I ever looked up the words, the thing that changed it for me is I was present with the energies, okay? So, Access says, say it 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night, and just that will change your life. Yes. And what I see a lot of people do is blow through it. What I see a lot of people do is not pay attention to it. Can that change something? Absolutely. But what would it be like if you were actually more present with it? Okay. So remember, it's all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And I like to call it copying the energetic feel. Those of you who know me know I'm just perverted enough. But basically I use that as an expression to be present with the energies. So I'm going to ask us to all do it together if you would like. But what I'm going to ask you to do is just to be present the very first time we go through the mantra. Take a moment and be present with the energies, okay? So, and I'll walk you through it. So, okay, so the first time, all of life comes to me. So, all of life. So get the energy of that. All of life comes to me. So no matter what it is, no matter what shows up, what gets created, the things when you're asleep, the things when you're awake, the things with your family, all of life, work, relationship, all of life comes to you. So get that energy, all of life, okay? Comes to me with ease. Okay, so be present with that energy of ease. What would your life be like with ease of everything? If you chose to have ease with everything, which is, remember that a mantra is the choosing. What would life be like if you had, again, it's not a cognitive thing. Everywhere you're trying to think about it, destroy it and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, black, nice, boys, bad. It's not about finding it and looking at and defining it and then creating it. It's no. It's just cop that energetic feel. You're not looking for what it would look like. You're looking for what it would feel like, what you perceive it as. What would like all of your life coming to you with ease be like? Okay, get that energy. All of life comes to me with ease. Okay, get that energy. Be present with it. Let that energy actually infuse into your universe and then expand out, right? Let that expand out, exponentialize of having ease, okay? Cool. Then all of life comes to you with ease and joy. What would your universe and the world be like with joy? Let that expand out. Let that exponentialize. All of life comes to you with ease, joy. What would that be like? Yeah, right? Okay. And then the last one, glory. Exuberant expression of abundance, which is so much more than money, you guys. It's so much more than money. All of life comes to me with ease. What would that be like? All of life comes to me with joy. Yeah. Exponentialize and then glory. Get that energy of all of life coming to you with that glory. Let that exponentialize. Okay. So I suggest you do that the first time. You say it, 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night. Just take that extra second and be present with the energies. All of life comes to me with ease. What would that be like? With joy. What would that be like? And then glory. What would that be like? And then let those energies exponentialize and then say it your second time. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And as we're going through this, do you guys notice that because you took that moment with that first one, it's more present in your universe? It is that statement. It is that declaration. It is that choice to the world that all of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. How fun is that? All right. So thank you guys for sharing this and exploring this possibility of being energetically congruent with the access mantra. Because as Gary and Dan are talking about lately, please, 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 please do not put this one on the back burner. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. It's a mantra. It's a choice. It's a demand. It's a statement. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. No matter what shows up, I'm going to choose to have me. I'm going to choose to have ease, joy, glory. And you know what? You having that invites other people to it as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I did. I love talking about words and the energy and being congruent. And gosh, I didn't even get a chance to talk about with your body. I mean, I know nobody ever asks their body one thing and then, you know, shows up something different. No, no, I'm sure. Or, you know, the universe. But I hope this begins to invite you guys to what I love talking about, why I love talking about this, about how, because the universe speaks energy, our bodies speak energy, and technically we speak energy as well, even though we put these words on top. And what being energetically congruent, because it's like, look at the access mantra now. How much different is it already in your universe, just actually being present and congruent with those energies, and what can you create from there? So, all right. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope to hug you around the world soon. Oh, and yes, Michelle and Safi are in my head. There is that online class, The Energy of Words, on the 25th from London. You can do it online or in person. Come play with us in London. It's the new class I'm doing where we explore this. And then we can actually go through some conversations and see where you're being congruent or not congruent with the energy of the conversations you're having or correspondence or anything. All right, so thank you guys for joining me. This has been fun. I love talking about it. I used to be tired and now I'm awake because I am all of life comes with ease, joy, and glory, including staying up late. All right, so thank you guys. Hope to see you around the world. Hug you there. Bye.